you today,
How we
bringing you
doing?
live Luxemburg versus Russia. Josh, fun game ahead of us here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this field, by the way, too. I love how you mentioned field, too. Around the field are these old stadium seating. It's a little tight-knit field. The players are right on the edge of the line here. It's a little tight-knit field, and it's, like you said, it's going to be a fun one. For Russia, quick turnaround. They played Israel last night, and they're back out here in the morning. So we'll see how the legs for Russia are. They took an L last night to Israel. Luxembourg, they're also coming off a loss to Uganda, 7-6. That was Uganda's big win, first win in pool play. So both these teams looking for a win today.
Both teams 0-2 coming into this one. Like you mentioned, Russia actually ended up hitting a bit of a snafu with their bus situation last night after the game. Ended up not getting back to their hotel until about 12:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So coach a little concerned, but said that during warm-ups the team looked like their legs were still with them. They were going to be able to run around today.
There you go. Hopefully they got a meal too and got some energy. It's hot out here. We're in the Middle East in July. The heat is real.
The sun very intense here in Israel. Not that it's even that hot. It's just that the sun beats in so hard.
Yeah, I just moved out to Denver, and I thought being a lot closer to the sun was hot out there, but this is just a whole nother level.
This is something else. We are just over a minute away from first face-off. All that time does have to tick off of our clock before we'll be able to begin the event. As we mentioned, the heat, we're at what the referees call a level 3 on the weather, so a little bit of an extended breaks at the quarters and halftime. Quarter breaks will be 7 minutes, halftime at 15 rather than the typical 5 and 10.
The hydration breaks, right?
Hydration breaks every quarter right around the 10-minute mark. Whenever that stoppage happens under 10 minutes, athletes will get 3 minutes to kind of huddle up, get some water, and that's, of course, to keep them hydrated and healthy because they still have another week of games to play.
How do you feel about the hydration breaks? To me, I'm like, now we're just keeping them out in the sun a little bit too long, right?
It does extend the time that they're outside a little bit, but at the same time, I think it's probably a good idea. Make sure that everybody's getting some water. You got a couple of guys that are going to be playing, a little more than others. And Russia on the opening face-off win gets the first possession of this matchup.
Yeah, quick clamp and forward win for Russia there.
Take a look at the goalie battle on the field. Standing in tall for Luxembourg and letting one by is Nick Beattie.
Nick Beattie down the alley, slips a little bit, gets his feet back, and just throws one right over the right shoulder of the goalie.
Chase Philpott, first goal of the game, puts Russia up early 1-0.
Good start for Russia considering what's happened to them in the last 12 hours.
Kind of that momentum builder that you need right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Down on the other end of the field, Andre Young from Syracuse standing in goal for Russia. Second face-off battle underway. This one won quickly again by Roman Booth. Booth bringing it all the way down the field. He's pushed outside before he can get to the cage. Here's Laren now at X. He's guarded by Ritz, and Ritz, father and son team, a very cool story on the Luxembourg squad. Coleman Ritz, 18 years old, gets to play with his father, Gregory Ritz, age 49 on this Luxembourg squad.
That's just amazing. I mean, you got to love those stories coming out of the international game. It's so much fun to hear those types of stories. Often, and what I've figured out kind of in this tournament so far, it's less about lacrosse and more about those type of stories, right? And those relationships, which is so awesome.
It's all about the brotherhood and really the family that you get to be with your team, and they just get to be family and team, which is very cool.
Yeah.
A little bit of sloppy play from Luxembourg on the clear attempt. Russia able to take back over. Subbing back onto the field, Donnie Howard. He's been a force for Russia throughout this tournament so far. Their leading goal scorer.
Yeah, if you have trouble clearing in these international games, you could end up playing a lot of defense. Russia moving the ball pretty well right now.
Pass a little high that time coming from Eugene Arkhipov. Luxemburg gets a chance to get back to their end about 2.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, haven't been on offense yet, so this is a really important clear for them to, kind of get their offense on the field and get a nice possession here.
Here's Barbier with it. And I've seen a couple of teams throughout the tournament. They all have different strategies on how they handle their clears. Some take the ball and they get down into their box very quickly. Others take their time getting all the way down the field. Luxemburg able to clear, no problem, getting it down there. Christoph Snaga.
Luxemburg in an open set here. Not much movement off ball from Luxemburg. They're going to have to dodge and try to draw a slide.
Domingue loses the ball on the ground ball battle. He gets knocked down. Ref agrees that it's a trip. Robert Peters headed to the penalty box. 1 minute. Big opportunity here for Luxemburg, even the score.
Those ones are tough. You know, the defender's trailing that guy going for a ground ball, swings at his stick, and unfortunately clipped his legs.
The rule's the rule. That's how it works.
Oh, yeah.
So first man up opportunity that we've seen today.
Luxembourg in a 3-3 offensively. Russia with the pressure, too.
Schowel has the ball knocked out of his stick. Big ground ball battle on the close side. It's able to be picked up by Luxembourg's Domingue.
Power play. Come on.
Luxembourg working the ball around. You can hear the coaches down there yelling. Do get a shot off. Snaga sails it wide.
That's important. They haven't gotten a shot yet this game, so that's a good one. Get a shot on cage. Test the goalie early, especially in this man-up situation. You hopefully come away with one right now.
Good step down that time. Pitt Bingen missing, but the penalty is released, so we're back to all even play on the field. Couple of good looks during that man-up opportunity. Another shot comes in from Domingue. Now ground ball battle in front of the cage. Scooped up by Luxembourg. Nick Smith going for the dive play. Sent it over the cage. Gets called for being in the crease.
I love it. Selling out. Get as close to the goal as you can.
One of my favorite rule changes when it comes to international play is that the dive play is legal. It's so exciting to watch.
Yeah, you got to love the dive. Although, a lot of people are anti-dive because of the way that you could possibly, take out a goalie's knees or a defender's knees. But, if you're doing it right, you won't be hitting the goalie.
Donnie Howard with some fancy stick work to get down, able to get a good feed inside. Silwan Darroman, and he bounces the ball over the goal. Good wrap around that time, putting it in the cage. Number 24, Eugene Arkhipov.
Great split. Hard dodge, attacks his defender's stick and gets upfield and shoots it right over his shoulder. It's a really good dodge.
It's tough when a defense doesn't collapse like that. They're never going to stop that wrap around the crease.
Yeah, it seems like Russia has been kind of pushing the pace offensively. They're going right to the cage, not giving Luxembourg any time to get their defense set. They're kind of in a scramble situation there.
Could hear Chase Philpott on the close side, the wing midfielder, yelling over at his bench to get them popped up, and the bench chanting now. Good to see the excitement from a tired Russia team.
Yeah, they've had great energy so far in this game, despite what happened to them last night, getting back to the hotel late. But they're definitely coming out guns a-blazing right now.
Zarenchenko gets a good pass and a hard shot that time, once again from Arkhipov.
Great save.
Fundamentals going to be a big factor in this game. I'm sure you can hear it through the stream. The wind is whipping here on field number 2.
Are we safe up here?
I like to think so. Nick Smith has the ball knocked away. Russia picks it up. Taking off down the field is Common. Common with a good pass. Here's Laren. Split dodge and a great save from Nick Beatty.
And again, Russia attacking that early offense, trying to catch the defense of Luxemburg off balance, and they got a good shot.
Russia's been running quickly in transition. Easy shot on the ground from Silwyn Derriman. Bounces wide. Russia's able to pick it up, retain possession. Just under 12 minutes left in the first.
Donnie Howard with a shot there.
Wait for him. Wait.
See if Luxemburg will play fast.
Looks like they may have wanted to, but a bad pass from Domingue rolls out of bounds. Turnover goes for Russia, bringing it back in. Alexei Sukhanov.
Great opportunity there, just got to capitalize.
Sorokin on the far side works to get that ball over. Zarenchenko with a great feed inside. Scoring is Sorokin. Can't leave a man open on the doorstep. He's going to score just about every time.
Yeah, Russia's really putting on the pressure so far, and Luxemburg defensively seems, a little bit lost, not matching up, especially when Russia's pushing the pace like they are.
Booth and Salvatore at the face-off X. We've seen them take all of them so far. Soren Salvatore taking the face-offs today for Luxemburg after their main man out with a stomach bug issue. They pretty much quarantined him from the rest of the team.
That's tough.
So under 10 minutes now. Next dead ball whistle is the hydration break and our media timeout. Russia's going to get a shot on goal, it looks like, before then. Gripping and ripping that time, Chase Philpott. Ball sailed wide. And we've got 9:47 left on the clock here in the first quarter. Russia out in front early with a 3-0 lead. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships right here on the ESPN family of networks.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited.
Epic Lacrosse, live, play, be. Russia out in front 3-0 on top of Luxembourg. A little bit of fancy stick work that time.
A little behind the back there. Luxembourg defensive coach yelling at his group during that timeout. They need to communicate. They need to match up. They're not doing those things right now. You could hear the frustration from him trying to get his guys to play a little bit faster, matching up sooner, communicating with each other. Like in an instance like that, having a two-slide ready to go if that guy gets beat initially.
Andrew Laren sends that one wide. I thought he was going to have a pretty good look.
Oh, yeah. Turned that corner pretty well. puts that on cage, that's probably going in.
You can see Russia communicating. Just the stick movement, the body language. A great save that time from Beatty off of a hard shot. Clear time from Luxemburg, bringing it down the field. Coleman Ritz.
Beatty's made some great saves so far. This score could be a little bit more lopsided if it wasn't for him right now.
A beautiful legal body check. Knocks the ball loose. Kozlovsky fighting for it. For the Russians, trying to keep it in.
Tiptoes the sideline there, keeps it in. Wow, great play.
Alexander Wheat somehow still holding on to the ball after tiptoeing the sidelines and finally starts to get rid of it. And I guess we'll just call that a bounce pass to Arkhipov.
That's a good call.
Russia now on their offensive end of the field. Beautiful stick work on the fake passes so far.
That's one thing I've never accomplished as a player. Throwing a stick fake like that where the whole defense or the whole team looks the other way.
I might be able to fake a shot at a goalie and then scoop it in on the other side. But something like Donnie Howard just did, I was never able to do either.
I'll just stick to cross-checking as a D-midi.
Donnie Howard still behind the cage, looking to wrap up top. He'll stop, take a shot, and score. That's his first on the day.
Great low-angle shot there. Kind of fakes up top. Both defenders start to move to where they thought he was passing and just leaves a free lane for him to take a shot.
Luxemburg needs to talk a couple of things over, and not exactly when you want to use that timeout coming right out of the hydration break.
Yeah, no, you see the frustration from the coaches right now. It's Luxemburg's playing a lot of defense. Like I said in the last break, coach was emphasizing not getting our sticks up in their sticks up in lanes, not communicating clearly with each other. So giving them a break too. This is a small roster, so you got to imagine, a few days into the tournament now, that the legs of Luxemburg might be wearing on them a little bit.
And a lot of these teams, these two especially have played 2 games already, but a lot of the teams here at the tournament playing throughout the week, they have scrimmages against the other countries that aren't considered part of the tournament, or they're over at the festival games taking part or helping out over there. They're not just sitting around while they're waiting for their games to come up.
No, yeah, that's true. And teams are traveling. They're all taking days to go to Jerusalem and see the country as well. So there's a lot of stuff that these teams are all dealing with: the heat, the weather, living quarters situations, eating. We talked about Russia having trouble getting over to the hotel last night, and sometimes it's hard to find food late at night, especially on Shabbat or those later evening games when teams are trying to get back to the hotel.
Yeah, very interesting for me personally as an American coming over and witnessing how an entire country observes Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
The entire country shut down. Getting a cab is nearly impossible. There are no restaurants open. It was very, very interesting.
No work. No, you were working though.
I was working. I was over at these fields.
Thank you, Coach.
How do you think that would go in America if there was a day that no one worked, that there was nothing going on, stores weren't open?
It'd certainly be interesting.
It would.
I don't know if there's a much better way to put that besides it would be interesting.
Yeah.
To see that for the first time happening in America would be quite a sight. Nick Beatty with a great save down low.
Yeah, Beatty's having a good game right now for Luxemburg, keeping this defense and this team kind of close in this game right now. They just got to get the ball on offense, get some good offensive time. They're spending a lot of time on defense right now.
Snaga has a bit of trouble. It rolls out of bounds, so Russia keeps possession up 4-0. Just about 6.5 minutes left to play in the first. Another stick fake. Ooh. Look at that. I'm looking all the way across the field. I can't figure out why I can't see the ball. Donnie Howard.
You in Luxemburg.
Donnie Howard needs to teach a clinic, I think, on stick skills.
Yeah, I'm going to go ask him after the game.
Oh, beautiful pass up front. Missing the cage that time altogether was Arkhipov, and he's upset with himself.
Yeah, he wishes he had that one back right on top of the cage.
Andrew Laren now working from X, one-handed. Ball gets popped up, rolls out of bounds. Closest to it when it goes out, Eugene Arkhipov.
I like the craftiness right now by Russia. We've seen a BTB shot. We've seen a one-handed shot, stick fakes. They're pulling out all the stops right now.
A couple of highlight plays for sure as Common picks up a ground ball. Zarenchenko on the far side, draws the ball back out and comes back up top to Common. Howard again, left-handed, sails high.
The great thing about field 2, and specifically this side of the field, if you shoot the ball's coming right back to you.
Unless it takes a dangerous bounce, then you don't know where it might go as Russia gets their 5th on the board with Andrew Laren.
Yeah, Andrew Laren taking his defenseman to the rack. Just another nice hard dodge to his right and gets a step. His hands are free, and he buried it.
5 minutes, coaches.
Russia down there chanting from their bench, and that was something they did as soon as they got here. They walked down the stairs on the far side of the field, on and across the field, and while they were coming in, they were in a very zen mood. They were chanting as they came across the field. As they did their warm-up lap around their half of the field, they were chanting, and then, you know, they're firing each other up. They're in the game. They're just keeping everybody excited.
I love that. I love the rituals, the traditions that you see from the different countries here. I saw Russia last night play Israel, and they did the same thing, came down the stairs on field 1, singing a song, and it's pretty cool to see the different traditions that these teams have.
Yeah, you got to love the pride that these countries bring all the way to Israel from everywhere around the world. Here's Andrew Laren with it again. He's got a goal on the day. Sends a pass a little too high, so Luxemburg gets a chance to get down to their offensive end of the field, get their first point up on the board.
Yeah, this is an important clear for Luxemburg. They got to get some possession time, and they throw it away here.
Nick Beatty's pass a little bit too high for Patrick Barbier to control, even with a 6-foot stick.
I would even like to see Beatty carry that ball out of the cage and bring it up himself a little bit further and find a short stick along the midfield line to get that ball in the offensive zone. It looks like the long poles are having a little bit trouble of carrying the ball right now.
Ball gets knocked loose, rolling toward the end line. Tough to see because we've got a tree in our way from the booth, but it looks like it did roll out of bounds, and Luxemburg gets another chance.
Wait, thank you.
Clear attempt once again, no good from Luxemburg. Russia picking up a ground ball, getting back down across midfield to their end of the field, bringing it down to Sorokin.
Yeah, the inability to clear right now from Luxemburg is really hurting them. They're just playing a lot of defense. Beatty with another save.
Beatty is having a really impressive day so far. I know he might have let 5 by in the first, but the saves that we're seeing from him, the athleticism and the focus.
Yeah, he's seeing the ball well right now and keeping this Luxemburg team relatively in the game.
Pass it back across for Barbier. It's going to roll out of bounds once again. Luxemburg, I think, has one clear so far.
Yeah, it's tough when you can't clear the ball. You're just going to end up playing a lot of defense. I would even like to see a shorty go back and try to grab the ball and run it out.
Zarenchenko with a shot that sails wide, stays for Russia. Just over 90 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Russia with a pretty comfortable 5-goal lead.
And again, I mentioned earlier, Luxemburg, a smaller roster. They only have 7 subs. One's a backup goalie. So, the legs, again, especially for the defensive side, if they keep having to play defense at this pace, it's going to be a long day for those guys.
Donnie Howard, the 17-year-old
Another
with
fake.
the
That's
stick
his third.
fakes, fooling everybody. Pass rolls back up across midfield, picking it up, and with pretty impressive stick handling skills, Alexander Wheat. Luxemburg able to scoop one up here. Shot on the ground from Nick Smith. Doesn't make it to the cage. And Smith, I think, sold a loose ball push there pretty well.
You see him motioning to his other teammates to calm down, settle.
Now, a lot of teams that I've seen so far in this tournament have a play drawn up for this situation. They start it right around 15, 20 seconds. And as we get close to 20, I would imagine we'll see Luxemburg start to move toward the cage, try and get their first point before we head to the quarter break.
Oh, good opportunity on the cut there. Russia defense falling asleep a little bit. Oh, I think he saved that.
Jackie Liu unable to handle it. Ball comes out and is awarded to Russia. 5 seconds on the clock. Pass to the inside, scoop, and Beatty pops it away right at the buzzer.
Beatty again coming up with a save. Unofficially, 7 saves maybe already in the first.
That's my count.
Yeah.
So an impressive first quarter for this tired out Russia squad that didn't even get back to their hotel until 12:30 in the morning, up 5-0 over Luxembourg. Sidewalls Lacrosse has created the first and only custom manufactured lacrosse head that represent the style and individuality you bring to the game. You shouldn't have to be Picasso in order to have a custom head. Check out sidewalls.com for official 2018 FIL World Championship heads and more. That's sidewalls.com, sidewalls with a Z. 5-0 Russia as we're in the first quarter break. This one a little longer because of the heat. It's a 7-minute break. But we'll be right back to bring you the second quarter action. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships.
Hi? We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade. Passion to protect.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
Fire! 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 Fire!
She only went furniture shopping 3 days ago. There's no way it got there so quickly.
She said everything was available in stock, 3-day delivery.
Wow. Why didn't we get that?
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture? Raymore and Flanagan.
But I think it should go
Bigger selection. Better service. Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
No way your furniture's here already.
Raymore and Flanagan, 3-day delivery.
Do not mention delivery.
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture?
Let me show you.
Wow.
Raymore and Flanagan.
Have my new living room.
Bigger selection.
That is beautiful.
Better service.
Come together, right?
No.
Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less.
Isn't it great?
That's what I needed.
Awesome.
Where'd you say she got her furniture from?
Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Quorum Watches. Since 1955, Quorum has adopted creativity and boldness as its guiding principles. Quorum, the official timekeeper of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Learn more about Quorum at www.quorum-watches.com.
I saw some of those watches. They look pretty nice.
I'm a big fan of watches.
Yeah.
I have this whole case at home. I've got like 8 or 9 watches in it.
There you go.
I never wear any of them because I got an Apple Watch, so that's all I wear now. But I do have them. I like them.
I think the storyline for Luxemburg is Nick Beattie.
Has to be.
Out of Cal Berkeley. I was close. 8 saves. 8 saves from him in that first quarter. And the funny thing, I just remembered, I saw him play in the MCLA tournament this year, where he played tremendous as well. I mean, he's a really good goalie going into his junior year at Cal Berkeley.
5-0 to get started in favor of Russia. Craig Bloom, Josh Hawkins. And what else we talked about during the break that's kind of fun is, well,
Philpott.
I'll wait. Philpott gets his second on the day. Russia up 6-0.
He started the first and started the scoring for Russia in the first, and now he's starting the scoring for Russia in the second here.
So what I was going to say that we had talked about that's also pretty fun is that Donnie Howard out there that we've talked about with those stick fakes, 17 years old, playing on the international level in just a way that you wouldn't believe, and he's matched up against Nick Beattie, who's 20.
Yeah, it makes sense that the young gun out here is throwing stick fakes and going behind the back and one-handed. You got to love it. Now he's trying his luck at the face-off X, too. He's all over the place.
Yeah. Bit of a switch-up for him. Illegal procedure called. It's going to be a Luxembourg ball. Howard trying to get some sort of explanation, the ref not having it. So Luxembourg gets their first look here in the second quarter.
I think the youngest player at this tournament is 14 years old.
Can you imagine being 14 years old representing your country here?
That'd be amazing. I'm jealous.
Thank you.
Common brings it down the field. Shot that time from Philpott. Oh, correction, not Philpott. Zyvan Fowler.
Zyvan Fowler with a nice goal. Again, Russia playing fast. They get that ball up and out, and you see the true transition play there. Connecting a couple passes. Finding the man on the crease, Fowler burying it.
So here's the thing. The game is not over. There is a ton of time left in the matchup, and I got to witness something like that firsthand yesterday in the Greece-Latvia game.
Okay.
Latvia got ahead to a 7-0 lead. Greece put one on the board. Latvia put their 8th up. And then Greece went on a 7-0 run throughout the rest of the game to force an overtime situation.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you there's a chance.
I love it.
I think Luxembourg needs to get their feet under them as they lose the ball once again, but I do think that there's still a chance.
Yeah, Alexander Wheat for Russia on the defensive side has had a great game so far. He's really good off the ground, and he's getting the ball up and out for this Russia team to get on offense.
Booth and Sorokin in the middle of the field. Sorokin takes it to the far side. Russia going to work things around. Laren now at X. Laren with a split dodge behind the cage. Great defensive effort.
Oh, wow.
Laren able to put it in.
Great goal. The redodge. The redodge kind of lulls his defenseman to sleep, dodging upfield. He rolls back, gets underneath, and then the head fake to a high finish. That's a tough one to stop if you're Beatty. I mean, he's right on top of the crease, and he's seen a lot of shots already this game.
Jeff Schowell, I thought, behind the crease, putting on a pretty good defensive performance as he was pushing him out, getting him away from the goal.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to push him up and out, kind of use his momentum, but he kept going upfield when he turned back and got underneath.
One of those rules in FIL, you're allowed to win the face-off and hold it in the back of the head of the stick. Gets a little tougher to pass, so ball goes out of bounds after Roman Booth won the face-off. Luxemburg with the chance.
And with those face-off heads, they get so pinched and mangled, especially in the heat out here. So, like you said, when you have the ball in the back of your stick like that and try to make a pass, it could definitely get stuck.
Russia back in on the far side of the field. Laren brings it down.
Get the ball to Donnie Howard.
You just want to watch him play. Howard with it now. He does pass that time. Let's make that clear.
A normal pass. I think we've only seen BTBs and fancy fakes.
Howard again, left-handed rip.
Ooh. Donnie Howard with the heat.
9-0 now for Russia.
And you can see Luxemburg goalie Beatty getting a little frustrated in the last time out too, yelling at his teammates and trying to pump them up and light a fire underneath them. But you see the frustration a little bit now as Russia's starting to pull away here. 9 goals on the board so far.
9-0 run. Definitely not how Luxemburg was hoping to start out this game. Talking with the staff, too, for Luxemburg, they said today they'd have a defensive focus. They wanted to make the offense work for goals and not give up any easy looks. And I'm not sure that they have given up too many easy looks, but the shots from Russia have just been outstanding.
Yeah, Russia's shooting really well right now. And, I think it's just a matter of matching up and communicating. Like I heard their staff say during some of these breaks. And, if your communication isn't there, you're going to have breakdowns defensively.
Shot off the pipe. Russia closest to it when it went out, so they'll keep possession.
Have you seen much zone so far in this tournament from defenses?
It's been hit or miss. It really depends on the team and it's the time of game, too. Some teams have been switching it up, but I've seen a lot of man, I think, more than I've seen the zone defense so far.
Yeah, I agree. I saw my first zone defense yesterday with Scotland. I liked it. I liked the look. But it's especially in these international games, for the defense, it's nice to kind of pack it in if you're playing a lot of defense like Luxembourg is.
Good cause turnover by Coleman Ritz gives Luxembourg another chance as Patrick Barbier was able to pick it up and throw it over midfield, but Russia is able to pick up another ground ball. Ground ball battle definitely in favor of the Russians so far today.
I'll tell you what, though, it's amazing being out here and seeing these different countries and, kind of getting an idea of where they're at in terms of, their lacrosse skills. And it's just amazing to see, everyone playing lacrosse. For me, it's been refreshing, just the energy and excitement, that these teams and players have. Like you mentioned, Russia coming out and chanting and singing their songs as they come down to the field. It's been special for me.
One of the coolest things that I've seen, and really the biggest power move, is Scotland marching through this campus, led by bagpipes on the way to their field.
Yeah, when they're coming through.
Gripping and ripping that time, Nikita Sorokin. That's his second today.
Yeah, able to just get a step to the middle of the field. And anytime you're shooting from the middle of the field, you have a lot of net to shoot at. You want to force those offensive middies down the alleys. but they're getting their way right now in the middle of the field, and that's going to happen if you have a 10-yard, 8-yard shot, right in front of the cage. It's going to be tough for Beatty to stop those. He's a great goalie, but if he's not getting help from his defense, it's going to be hard.
Soren Salvatore facing off against Donnie Howard once again. Howard picks up the ball, flips it to himself, fakes a pass, does make the pass.
Oh.
And the defender catches that right in the gut. Down on the field looks to be Coleman Ritz, the son in that father-son team, 18 years old. The hard underhand shot taken by Eugene Arkhipov.
He's good. He's shaking that one off. You like to see that.
He's actually shaking that one off, too, doing a little twist out there.
I got to mention, I got 5 fakes on Donnie Howard right now.
Yeah. Keeping tally marks?
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last of them either, if I had to guess.
They'll keep coming.
Snagga brought it all the way down the field. Ball loose in front of the cage. Being fought for is picked up by Russia, bringing it up toward midfield now. Oh, wide open toward the cage. Dimitri Kamen and Nick Beatty once again just there to stop.
Wait for him. Thank you.
It's great to see Luxemburg with the ball on offense now. Take your time, get a really good possession, work your way for a great shot.
All right, we're all right.
Fun fact about Donnie Howard, by the way, committed to play at BU next year. Boston University, great program. Patriot League.
It's a big opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Andre Young comes out of the cage to pick up the ball at X. Takes care of things. Everybody's onside after a tiptoe. Hard shot that time from Zaranchenko. He puts up his first on the day, and with 9:57, clocks will stop for the second quarter hydration break. So we will step aside as well as Russia leads Luxembourg 11-0. About 3 minutes on the water break. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited.
Our game today brought to you in part by 3D Lacrosse. With 15 markets across the United States, 3D Lacrosse is America's premier provider of lacrosse training and player development services, including box field hybrid training, select travel teams, team tournaments, recruiting showcases, leagues, and more. Visit 3dlacrosse.com today to learn more.
3D Lacrosse is everywhere. They're all over the place.
Getting that word out, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Craig Bloom and Josh Hawkins with you. Just under 10 minutes left to play in the first half. Russia leading Luxembourg 11-0, and they win the next face-off as well. The play from Nick Beatty down in Luxembourg's goal. Been pretty outstanding, but Russia's offense just too good.
Yeah, we'll see what adjustments Luxembourg tries to make on defense throughout this game.
Russia not taking the foot off the gas, some crisp passing all the way around. And when you can pass and catch that well, that clean, and that fast, you're going to tire a defense out really quick.
Yep. Great save.
Beautiful save off the hard shot from Arkhipov. Beatty able to read it, get his stick all the way across his body and make the save down low.
Luxemburg with the clear now. See what they can do on offense here.
Nick Smith did a great job of grabbing that ground ball, running away from traffic and getting himself to some space so that Luxemburg can settle down. Shot and save that time, Christoph Snaga.
Great opportunity there for Luxemburg.
So you like the shot?
I like the shot. I like the shot. I think it builds confidence. You got to put the ball on cage.
Wenzel brings it back down for Russia. They'll settle down, but probably not for too long. Fowler now. On the close side, he gives it up to Zarenchenko. Zarenchenko looks like he wants to shoot, decides to pass instead. Ball was knocked down, now picked up by Patrick Barbier. And Luxemburg gets it all the way down the field. Barbier, good pass over the middle, intended for Pitt Bingen. Just too far in front.
Good look. I like the opportunity. Great defensive stand, too, by Luxemburg the last two possessions defensively.
Andre Young walks out of the crease and gives it up to a waiting Dimitri Kamen.
I always like learning more about these countries, you know, throughout this tournament. You know what I just found out? Luxembourg is officially the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. It's a great name.
Is that right?
That is right.
Interesting little tidbit there.
I also really love their flag. The red dragon, it's a great look.
You like their flag. How about their kits today? Rocking the all orange red.
Yeah, the red on red and the white helmets looks pretty good.
Russia tacks another one on Eugene Arkhipov, his second.
Again, Russia playing fast, just pushing the pace from defense to offense, connecting passes up the field, and then burying the shot right on the crease.
So Russia probably executing their game plan that they came up with pretty well.
Yeah, you know, they probably wanted to come out and run, and they've been doing that. You know, we mentioned the trouble they had last night and the quick turnaround from the Israel game last night on field one behind us. You know, this is what you want if you're Russia.
Ball gets popped out to the close side. On the face-off battle, Russia able to pick up no problem, and you got to hope we don't start seeing any sort of frustration fouls coming. Good trail check there, Jackie Liu. And then Liu able to kick the ball out of the ground ball tussle.
Yeah, you like to see that intensity from the Luxembourg defense. I feel like they've kind of been settling in and, you know, getting packed in, but you like to see that pressure in the ball on the ground.
Kamen with a shot, bounces over the cage. Here's Fowler now. Comes all the way up top, and Russia seems to be just a fast team.
Yeah, they're really quick at the attack position. We've already seen a couple goals from X where you get that quick dodge up, you know, goal line extended. So, like you said, I mean, this is a pretty athletic, fast Russia offense.
Andrew Laren goes across the field. Good pass and a great shot that time. Eugene Arkhipov once again, the first hat trick on the day.
What a great look by Laren across the defense as he's cutting down the backside. He snags it and throws it short side. I mean, that's a great goal. Great look. I think it's a better assist than goal.
Dangerous pass a lot of the time, to pass right across the middle, especially right up top on the crease.
Through the long sticks, I mean, just on a rope.
Can see a bit of frustration from Nick Beattie, standing down in goal with 4 minutes left in the half. Luxemburg with the face-off win, Soren Salvatore. Sloppy passing down on their attacking end of the field forces another ground ball situation. Pitt Bingen working to pick it up, but loses it after heavy defensive pressure. Francis Mountjoy, it looked like. Correction, was Sukhanov with the good defensive pressure. So another man-up opportunity here for Russia after a tripping call.
Yep, trip with possession.
Patrick Barbier down, sitting in the penalty box now for a minute. With 3:08 left on the clock, Russia can tack on their 14th, or they can waste a lot of time.
You think we're gonna get a stick fake here by Donnie Brown?
I think at some point we are. Not if he's got that much space. He takes a rip instead.
I think he hit a bird on the back line there.
the Randy Johnson of lacrosse. Nick Beattie saves a shot coming in, and now in a man-down situation, he comes pretty high up out of the cage. Draws a double team on himself, gets all the way to midfield.
I like this from
comes
Beattie.
over. He's
I like
onside.
that from Beattie. He knew what he wanted to do. He needed to get that ball in the offensive zone, and he took it himself. I like that.
It seems like as strong as the stick handling is for Donnie Howard and the rest of the Russian offense, it's that difficult for this Luxembourg offense. Great shot, though. Pitt Bingen almost got the first point on the board for the Luxembourg squad. Unable to do so. Back to all even play. So a good penalty kill for Luxembourg at the very least.
Yeah, great kill by their defense, and then great opportunity, good look right on the crease.
Off-ball illegal procedure called down near the Russian end of the field, so Russia gets possession right back under 90 seconds left in the half.
Let's stick with what Cam said. Let's go to the trial again.
And we are back to even strength here.
Mikolovsky with it, goes for an inside pass, a great save off the shot from Andrew Laren. Another shot comes in off the rebound. Chase Philpott, number 3, scores number 3.
Yeah, great save by Beattie. He goes across body. You mentioned it, the ball rebounds out. Philpott with a nice roll back to the inside and sticks it near side high. Philpott's a strong dodger.
Might be able to hear the New Zealand team in the background performing the haka.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had my camera. I've been flying around taking so many different videos all week. That's the one you need right there. That's awesome.
It has been all over social media. Lacrosse fans across the world absolutely loving that New Zealand is performing their haka, their war cry, their dance before their games. And they're about to take play over on field 1 right behind us. 15 seconds left in our half over here.
Donnie Howard on the break.
Howard with the opportunity. Decides for the extra pass, a quick stick attempt. Andrew Laren pushed it too far, and the last 3 seconds tick off the clock. You could see the frustration and just the desperation from Nick Beattie as he threw his stick up in the air, trying to just take any chance away of another goal being scored. 14-0 in favor of Russia in this first half. Another extended break for halftime is 15 minutes instead of 10. But who knows? Second half is a second half of play.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Luxembourg did defensively at the end of that second quarter. I think, you know, they won the last 5 minutes of that, and offensively, they just got to connect passes and bury their chances on the crease. They had a couple there in the second, so we'll see if they can continue that in the third and hopefully capitalize.
And fans, Trusted Choice is the official insurance partner of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Protect what matters most, from business to home, auto, and life. Trusted Choice independent insurance agents are there for you when disaster strikes. Go to trustedchoice.com to find a local agent today. 14-0 at the half. We're going to step aside. We'll come back, break things down for you, and tell you what we expect for the second half here in a few minutes. Live from Netanya, Israel, Wingate, field number 2, Russia ahead 14-0. This is the 2018 FIL World Championships.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade. Passion to protect.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
Fire! 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 Fire!
She only went furniture shopping 3 days ago. There's no way it got there so quickly.
She said everything was available in stock, 3-day delivery.
Wow. Why didn't we get that?
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture? Raymore and
But I
Flanagan.
think it should go
Bigger
over
selection.
to the gentleman.
Better service.
Yeah.
Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
No way your furniture's here already.
Raymore and Flanagan, 3-day delivery.
Do not mention delivery.
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture?
Let me show you.
Wow.
Raymore and Flanagan.
Have my new living room.
Bigger selection.
That is beautiful.
Better service.
Together, right?
No.
Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less.
Isn't it great?
That's what I needed.
Awesome.
Where'd you say she got her furniture from?
Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, Their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade. Passion to protect.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
Fire!
She only went furniture shopping 3 days ago. There's no way it got there so quickly.
She said everything was available in stock, 3-day delivery.
Wow. Why didn't we get that?
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture? Raymore and Flanagan.
But I think it should go
Bigger selection.
gentleman.
Better service. Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
No way your furniture's here already.
Raymore and Flanagan, 3-day delivery.
Do not mention delivery.
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture?
Let me show you.
Wow.
Raymore and Flanagan.
My new living room.
Bigger selection.
That is beautiful.
Better service.
Together, right?
No.
Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less.
Isn't it great?
That's what I needed.
Awesome.
Where'd you say she got her furniture from?
Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
He did the 14 saves, but you know Russia's offense is playing really well. I think the standout for me is Donnie Howard. You mentioned 17 years old. He's committed to play at BU next year in the Patriot League for Ryan Poley. Ryan Poley got a good one. He got a creative midfielder. He can dodge. He can feed. He's crafty. We see the BTBs and all the stick fakes that he's making. But the Russia offense is really quick. They're pushing the pace, and they're probably not going to slow down.
So 14-0, about 2.5 minutes away from the second half. It could be interesting. Luxemburg can string a couple together, maybe build some momentum, make a couple of changes here and there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how these teams handle the halftime. Russia stayed out in the sun, and it looks like they're doing some yoga, some stretching, staying in that Zen-like mode that they came out in. Whereas Luxemburg went into a locker room or into the shade in a building behind field two. So we'll see how that bodes for them coming out in the second half. But again, Luxemburg, a smaller roster. Like I said, only 7 subs on their side. So a lot of run for all these Luxemburg players in this heat.
Lots to watch for, and we'll keep an eye out for it. We'll be back just about a minute and 45 seconds away from the start of the second half. You're watching the ESPN family of networks. This is the 2018 FIL World Championship.
30 seconds. Let's go. One more.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Signature Lacrosse. Signature is a company built by the players for the players, focused on revolutionizing the progression of the game. Follow Signature Lacrosse on Instagram at Signature Lacrosse to stay up to date on product releases like Magic Mesh, the longest lasting, strongest, and #1 performance mesh in the game. Second half underway. Craig Bloom and Josh Hawkins with you as Russia wins the opening faceoff. Linus Furr now in cage for Luxemburg, 24 years old, standing tall. Will try not to let any by. Nick Beattie with 14 saves in the first half replaced.
Linus coming out of the cage there, being a second defender. I like it. Like the intensity. He's tall, stands big in cage there.
Russia already a little bit slower than we saw them in the first half. Common with it, driving toward the middle of the field, being pushed around a little bit. And first shot of the second half from Arkhipov is good, 15-0.
Yeah, the defender for Luxemburg gets stuck in front of the cage. Great feed down to goal line, extended, and wraps around and scores a 5-hole. Goal right by Linus.
Arkipov's fourth on the day. Had a hat trick in the first half.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Linus for the rest of the day. Looking down at the Luxemburg bench, it seems like Beattie has taken off his equipment. He's back in street clothes.
Frustrating outing for sure as Luxemburg comes and scoops up. Nick Smith takes the face-off ball down to the offensive end of the field. Smith wants to take a shot. Blocked, rolls out past the end line. Good chase that time by Andre Young, getting around the end of the goal and getting toward the end line, but Pitt Bingen beating him. Here's Smith again down at X, taking his time, and his team moving around an awful lot.
Yeah, you know, one of those things that they weren't doing in the first half. They weren't moving their feet off ball, and you see a lot of cuts right now by Luxemburg trying to make an effort to move off ball, get open, find a seam in the middle of this Russian defense.
Smith tried to wrap underneath and get a jump shot, ended up landing just tiptoed in the crease, but turnover back toward Russia. Here's Sorokin. Good body check that time. Luxemburg's Patrick Barbier. Ball rolls out of bounds, stays Russia. Sorokin brought it back in, gave it to Common, and Common looked to run in. Good collapse there. One of those fun things that we can hear from the sidelines that's been like this throughout the entire tournament is just the different languages being spoken.
You read my
cultures.
mind. I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, really cool. You can hear the Russian down on the sideline communicating to their offense.
Strong wrap check. Dmitry Common able to overcome everything.
Strong fist pump, Sully, there from Dmitry. Good hard dodge. He runs through the check. Hard check, runs through it, and again, nice bouncer, low. Linus unable to get there.
Said Common's name a decent amount. That's the first time that he's put one in the cage today. And it goes to show you just how important everybody is out on that field. You can be a factor,
yeah,
no matter what.
Multiple goal scorers for Russia.
Jackie Liu and Mikolvsky taking the face-off this time. Two new guys that we haven't seen yet. Mikolovsky trying to get the ball out of his stick, and that While it's legal to carry it in the back, that is illegal when you can't get it out.
Surprised no delay of game there. He throws the ball out of his stick to the back end line.
I saw one of those yesterday for the first time as well, delay of game called. Frustration just picking up a ball and just tossing it over.
Yeah.
It's a costly 30-second penalty that just doesn't need to happen.
Donnie Howard with the fake after the ground ball.
Howard brings it all the way down, no problem, and Luxemburg having a tough time, down 16-0.
At this point, if you're Russia, do you take your foot off the gas pedal a little bit here? And
you know, I was going to ask you that, and I thought maybe when we were getting into the double digits, they would start that too. They haven't yet. They've slowed down a little bit since the half.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Do you keep going, or do you kind of slow down? It's always tough when you're in that situation, but right now I think Russia's going to keep going, and
you have to figure out too, what is the sportsmanlike play, what's the respectful play.
Right. And I think for both these squads so far, they've been respectful to each other. We haven't seen any kind of frustration penalties or late hits. It's been a clean game so far.
Frustration penalties are usually the most frustrating thing for me to see up in the booth.
Yeah.
I hate to see when a player gets frustrated and then ends up sitting in the box. Yesterday I actually saw a player in the Philippines-Belgium game take a leg off of the chair with a 6-foot pole in the penalty box.
Wow.
And it's so unnecessary.
Yeah. Overall, though, I mean, the sportsmanship throughout the World Championships, I mean, it's amazing to see. You have players of other teams giving, tips and advice to other players, and it's really cool to see the brotherhood and camaraderie between, the squads.
And most of these teams, if not all of them, doing a gift exchange at the end of the game where each player gives another player a gift, something that represents their country that they can hold on to. Been very cool, and then they've been taking their time and taking a picture just with all the jerseys meshed with each other, which has also been really neat to see. Luxembourg with a man-up opportunity, maybe get their first point on the board in this game.
Yeah, great opportunity here for Luxembourg. Oh, interference call going the other way.
Tough break for Luxembourg. Russia able to pick it up, run away. Robert Peters.
They're playing fast. They're going.
Robert Peters, number 9, brought that ball down, and he is listed as a goalie in attack, number 36, excuse me. He's listed as goalie/attack, and he's carrying a long pole.
Wow. That's amazing. That's awesome. Do you think he plays goalie with his long pole?
I would be willing to bet that he doesn't.
Yeah.
If he does, I'd love to see it. Ground ball fought for again, and smart play to use Andre Young, the goalie.
And he's calling for it. Here he is in the middle of the field. Let's see if his attack skills come into play.
Robert Peters, step down, scores. One of my favorite things to see is a long pole goal, just because of the way that they usually have to get themselves inside the restraining box. And
a long pole goalie goal.
Long pole.
Have you ever made that call?
I haven't. I haven't made that call ever that I can remember. I knew I would have a couple of firsts traveling to Israel to call World Championships.
I got a huge first for me coming up in a couple days. Going skydiving on Tuesday.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Very fun.
I know.
Where are you going?
An hour north, jumping out of a plane.
Have you been before or you haven't been?
I've never been skydiving,
wow.
So when in Israel.
Illegal procedure called just as the whistle was blown.
Not
Russia
yet.
still had a man in the penalty box, but they faced off full strength. Now the penalty is released. There was only a couple of seconds left. So Luxembourg with the ball. I mean, skydiving will be cool. Traveling to Russia to do that. You got to tell me about that when you get back. Shot is saved that time, coming in from Silwin Darman. 10:30 on the clock in the third quarter. Russia in complete control, up 17-0.
Great look to the crease.
And a good step out that time. Linus Furr, that's goalie fundamentals. Step out and make yourself big.
Oh, yeah.
Ball back in front of the cage. Furr comes back out.
He's an active goalie for sure, getting out of the cage, being a second defender.
Vereshchagin got called for illegal procedure, playing without a stick. He lost his stick and a glove. And one of the Luxemburg defenders looks to maybe have a cramp down there on the field. But that does send us into the hydration break. 9:58 left on the clock, so we'll take a media timeout as well. 17-0, Russia in complete control. Stay with us. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
Craig Bloom and Josh Hawkins with you, bringing you live coverage of Luxembourg and Russia at the 2018 FIL World Championships. Josh, did you play with some Maverick stuff back in the day?
I've never played with Maverick stuff. I've been Under Armour, I've been Warrior, New Balance. Right now I'm playing with String King. I was going to mention, it's really cool to see the different products and sticks and gear that every country has and uses. But I'm a big String King fan right now.
Always have a Cascade helmet though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always been Cascade.
Cascade, another one of those big sponsors for this tournament. Every team, all of the 46 countries that are here using Cascade helmets. Cascade has a mission statement, and it is a passion to protect. Play on both ends of the field so far. Not sure what the need for the push was that time from Zaranchenko. Audremont went down on the field and able to get back up, which is nice, and get himself over to the sideline. But Luxembourg with another man-up opportunity.
Yeah, you really like to see them capitalize here, get on the board. But the pressure from Russia on their man-down unit, it's causing a little havoc here for Luxembourg on these man-up opportunities.
Well, Russia's defense, too, just because of time of possession that they've been holding on offense, Russia's defense really
they get
hasn't
excited,
had to
right?
work too much.
They get excited.
They're happy to have the ball down on their end of the field.
Oh, great spin move.
Ball gets knocked out. Nick Smith's stick on the ground being fought for. Picked up by Russia on the far side, Robert Peters. Interference called off ball, turnover.
Goalie attack extraordinaire, Peters.
I'm sure he'll enjoy that title.
I think it's important to play multiple positions, though. You know, play attack, especially if you're a young guy out there. Play attack, play defense, play midfield. There's so much specialization now in the sport that, you know, you have guys that just want to be face-off guys, which is great. It's crazy. It's been a huge difference from, you know, since when I was playing, you know, or started playing, you know, 10, 12 years ago. So
you think goalie attack and long pole is a good combination there then.
Yeah.
A little bit of frustration from Nick Smith after he had an illegal body check on him from Krasilnikov. Krasilnikov in the box, illegal body check for 1 minute. But Luxemburg wants to talk things over and see if they can maybe draw things up, not producing on their man-up opportunity so far.
Yeah, the Russian defense is getting excited. You know, like you said, they're not seeing a lot of possession time. So when they do, they're high pressure, and Luxemburg unable to handle the ball on their man-up opportunities because of that pressure. So I'm sure we'll see a quick play, a quick hitter from Luxemburg out of this timeout.
Russia leading 17-0. This is the fourth penalty called on the Russian squad. Luxemburg only with one right at the beginning of the game for the trip.
And I don't think these are, you know, frustration penalties or Russia trying to, you know, get after Luxemburg. I think, you know, sometimes the stick gets caught between a leg or, you know, something like that, and draw a penalty.
No malicious intent.
Exactly.
30 seconds left on the timeout clock as the teams break their huddles, get set, and ready to go once again. Russia's definitely slowed things down. First quarter, they had 23 shots. Second quarter, they've had 22. Third, they've only got 6 so far, and we're about 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
There's the high pressure from Russia.
Aggressive pressure when you're man down.
Yeah.
I guess not too much to worry about at the time, but still aggressive pressure playing that far out. Nick Smith.
There it is.
Gets Luxemburg on the board. Number 21 in red gets the first goal of the game for Luxemburg. Right around 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter.
And if you're high pressure like that on a man-down situation, somebody is open. And Luxemburg finds that guy, Nick Smith, and great bouncer to get behind the goalie.
Good sidearm action to get it on the ground and just rotate that ball up and pass Andre Young.
If you're a shooter, the ground is your friend.
Coach, count your poles. Count your poles, coach. Not from the whistle, from possession.
Man down face-off for Russia. Luxemburg with the opportunity. Russia is able to pick it up, and the penalty's released. The long pull plays every position. Robert Peters, his second goal with the long pull.
Yeah, he makes a great play at the middle of the field, hockeys the ball out to himself, into space, going towards the goal, uses that momentum to carry him right to the crease and finishing past Linus.
Quick answer off of Luxemburg's first score. Russia now back up 18-1. About 5 minutes left in the third. Russia jumping early that time. Luxemburg gets another chance. Luxemburg throws it away that time. Kozlovsky brings it back in, gives it to Young in the crease. Young will come over to the close side. And Wenzel brings it across midfield. Tough break for Luxemburg.
Yeah, if you're not connecting passes, it's going to be tough. And they found one on the possession before that, but it's nice. It'd be nice for Luxemburg to string a couple in a row.
Sidearm shot that time from Zyvan Fowler. Went wide left. Russia able to back up. Vlasenko brings it back onto the field. Vlasenko turns around. Makes it 19.
Quick shot from goal line extended. Didn't look like Linus saw it or was ready for anybody to shoot. I wasn't ready for him to shoot. He kind of just wrapped that one around, kind of looking at the goal, but it goes in. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
Oh boy, that's a great quote. I need that framed. Put up in my living room. I'll look at that every single day. 19-1 the score now.
I've been hanging out with too many Canadians. That's a Canadian one there.
Is that right?
Yeah. Maybe Wayne Gretzky? I don't know. We'll credit him. He said a lot of great things in his life.
Hey, Michael Scott credited Wayne Gretzky. Loose ball push on Luxemburg. Maybe that first frustration that we've seen, and Russia keeps the ball down on the right end of the field. Sorokin draws it all the way back up toward midfield and then tries to drive in. That shot bounces off of the pipe. Can be a shooter's worst enemy and a goalie's best friend. Linus Furr was unable to pick it up, and who was able to pick it up was Ivan Fowler, but ref calls him in the crease. So Furr able to take it back and will attempt to clear.
Fowler's a scrappy little attackman. He's always on the crease, always looking for those little ground balls, those garbage goals.
Pass too far from Patrick Barbier. Goes out of bounds, back toward Russia once again. Just over 90 seconds left to play in the third, and Josh, Russia thought that they were going to have a little bit of trouble after playing a game last night, not getting a ton of sleep, and having to come out and play this morning. It's hot out.
Yeah.
They don't look tired.
They haven't had an issue. You said it earlier, you know, they had that zen kind of feel coming onto the field at the beginning of the game. They were doing yoga at halftime. I mean, this group is dialed right now.
I guess when you've got it figured out and what's going to work for you, you got to stick with it.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There's a man we haven't seen much in the second half, Donnie Howard. Had 2 goals in the first and a lot of fancy stick work.
You know, and I asked that question earlier, do you take the foot off the gas pedal a little bit there? And you know, I think that's one of the answers. You know, you don't roll out your strongest players. You kind of bury them on the bench and let some other guys get more runs on offense. And like you said, this is the first time we've seen Donnie Howard in a little bit.
Talk on the field. I'll look after it. What have we got left?
Good attempt by Fowler to keep that in.
10 seconds left to tick off in the third. Furr has a little bit of trouble, but decides to run out with it. And final seconds tick off as Luxemburg finally got it down to their end of the field. Still unable to control it. Did get a point on the board in the third. Not to be outdone by this Russian squad, though. 19-1 as we head to the third quarter break. And Josh, Luxemburg, a lot of trouble.
Yeah, playing a lot of defense throughout this game, but you know their heads are up. Their heads are up. They're being positive on the bench too, and that's all you can ask for in a situation like this. On the other side, Russia, I mentioned it, Donnie Howard not playing, starting out on that first midfield. So it seems to me that Russia taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, but there's time for Luxembourg to continue to grow as a team, grow as an offense and kind of find that groove, and hopefully take that into the rest of the tournament.
So 19-1 after 3, and we want to let you know that Honig's is proud to be the official provider of game day apparel for referees at the 2018 FIL World Championships. Founded in 1984, Honig's is the right call for all referees, umpires, and officials across all sports in the United States and around the world. For more information, visit Honigs.com. Honig's, the right call for over 30 years.
I'll tell you what, the refs look good. They look good. They're clean.
Team Zebra out there?
Yeah,
looking good.
They're clean.
19-1 the score, about 5 minutes left in the quarter break. We'll be back. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships on the family of ESPN networks.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade. Passion to protect.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
Fire!
She only went furniture shopping 3 days ago. There's no way it got there so quickly.
She said everything was available in stock, 3-day delivery.
Wow. Why didn't we get that?
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture? Raymore and Flanagan.
But I think it should go
Bigger selection. Better service. Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
No way your furniture's here already.
Raymore and Flanagan, 3-day delivery.
Do not mention delivery.
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture?
Let me show you.
Wow.
Raymore and Flanagan.
Have my new living room.
Bigger selection.
That is beautiful.
Better service.
Come together, right?
No.
Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less.
Isn't it great?
That's what I needed.
Awesome.
Where'd you say she got her furniture from?
Raymore and Flanagan. Delivering a better experience.
So, clock's ready. Clock ready.
You go. Be down the line and come in behind Jack. Sorry. On the next one.
We welcome you back. Luxembourg versus Russia. Russia in complete control, 19-1 to start the fourth quarter. Craig Bloom, Josh Hawkins. Man down face-off for Luxembourg after the penalty right as the quarter ended. slashing penalty. Should have somewhere around 30 seconds left in it. Luxemburg, though,
wins the clamp and the ground
face-off.
ball. Nice. Man down face-off win. That's huge.
Jackie Liu.
Luxemburg bench showing Jackie love for the face-off win.
Miscommunication on the field. Suwin Darman had no idea the pass was coming to him that time from Ryland Domingue. Russia takes over.
I gotta say, you've been really good at the pronunciations.
I appreciate that. There's some teams that provide some pronunciation guides, and others we have to do our best with.
Right, it's tough. It's tough. It's hard. You're doing a really good job.
Appreciate that. Countries all over the world, you never know what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah. Shin save there by Linus.
Toscanov didn't have the shot go well, and now Luxemburg takes over.
Fowler tries to keep it in on the sideline. He goes palms up, thought he did the job, but the ref thinks otherwise. Luxemburg ball.
Gregory Ritz brought it back in. That's the father on that father-son team, 49 years old, competing at this World Championships.
49.
49.
Wow. That's amazing. So the oldest player in this tournament's 49, I think, and the youngest player is 14. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, huge difference. It's awesome.
It's nice to see that the love of the game, the passion, and just the desire to play
absolutely
all the way through.
Absolutely.
There you go, Jackie. Get on his hands, bud. Get on his hands. There you go.
Russia unable to handle the pass, and now Jackie Liu, the man who won the opening faceoff in the fourth quarter, holding a long pole, and he pushes through two defenders to get the ball over midfield. And Luxemburg looked like they might get a chance in their offensive end, but Wenzel.
They had a player right on the crease, wide open.
Oh, a little give and go action there. Upset with himself is Artur Wenzel. Haven't seen too many give and goes here.
Great passing by Russia. All game long, we saw that skip across the defense for a goal.
Arkhipov rubbing his back and looking over at the official, unhappy without a call. Good save there from Fur. Russia still pretty clean around the outside. Fowler now over to Vilensenko. Arkhipov misses the cage, wide left.
There's that skip pass that Russia likes. Across the defense, and you see what that results in, a good shot, right?
Every opportunity is a good opportunity. Pulling all the way out now is Sorokin. Sorokin drives in, shoots, and it's deflected, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Fur got a stick on that one. Standing tall in cage right now for Luxemburg.
Shot on the ground that time from Sorokin. Hit the outside of the net, went out of bounds, and Russia with a couple of quick shots. Starting out the fourth quarter. Definitely seems like they've taken their foot off the gas a little bit. Not as many cuts, taking some shots from the outside now. But still playing actively, trying to score.
Hey, double him up! Double him up!
Also playing a man down. I don't know if that's on purpose. They send a late one out of the box here. Now they're 6-on-6.
You can't really do much about that. Ijanzi Tuskanov just rolling away from everybody.
Yeah, and he comes out of the box late. They were playing 5-on-6 offensively. They recognize they're down a number. He gets the ball and just drives straight to the cage. Good take.
You have a whole defense collapsing on you. Have to run through two guys, kind of like you're a car going through the whippers at the car wash. And you're still able to hold on to the ball and get a decent shot.
That's a good visual.
Painting the pictures for the viewers.
Yeah, I love it.
They call me Bob Ross back home. Did I not tell you?
No? I'm a huge Bob Ross fan. You know, all his stuff's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Yeah.
I've watched it all.
Let's go up here and paint some pretty clouds.
There's no mistakes. Just happy little accidents.
Yep. Did we just become best friends?
I think we did. Russia a little eager to get started before the whistle. Under 14 minutes left to play in the game. Russia with a very comfortable and smooth 20-1 lead. Flag is down. Luxemburg is offsides.
He came up. Someone went on for him? Or we're just offside? Someone went on to attack us.
Usually, if you go off sides, you still kind of send that player and play a man up just to, you know.
Well, they're playing man down currently due to the Luxembourg penalty for the trip. So an extra defenseman went over to play, or yeah, an extra defenseman playing for them. So they're even on that side of the field.
Yep.
Play stops here.
Hugo, come!
Patrick!
Patrick,
In
stay!
hand, please.
Patrick, get in! Hugo, come!
18. Hugo, 1-8.
Hear the communication here on the bench from Luxembourg.
5-2. 30 seconds.
Trying to get their guys on.
Referee called for an in-home. Settles for a defender just coming off the field, as long as somebody is sitting in the box.
Why? Get in!
30.
I have no idea. If I don't call you, stay on.
Luxembourg able to take possession down in the far corner. A couple of seconds left on that penalty that they're man down.
10 seconds remaining.
And back to all even play as Russia takes back over. Slow things down once again.
Yeah, and it's been the same issue for Luxembourg the entire game. Just failure to clear the ball and value the rock when moving to defense to offense, and just a little sloppy play.
FIL using donated orange balls for this tournament. Some of the key games have an extra FIL stamp in them,
which has been an interesting issue for the tournament, as teams not knowing that they were going to be using orange balls. I was speaking to Dylan Ward, the Canada goalie, and they had no idea until their first day and their first game, and he saw that there were orange balls. As a goalie, you practice, and you're practicing on it with a white ball, and it can kind of throw you off.
It throws off a lot of people. Sometimes us up here in the booth as well have a tough time seeing the ball, and in the evening when the sun is setting, it gets tough to see as well. What is legal, though, if both teams agree on it, they can use white balls that they've brought as long as they've brought enough.
And some teams have done that. I think in the blue division they've been using the white balls. I know there was a Twitter battle, and everyone on Twitter putting their 2 cents in about the orange balls and the white balls, and they corrected that yesterday for the USA game. So, some teams going with those white balls.
Both games over on Wingate 1 last night using those white balls. Commentators very happy about it. The players very happy about it.
Yeah.
And the fans, just the spectators and the viewers, very happy about it as they're able to follow the ball a little easier and a little more of what they're used to. Luxembourg calls timeout to talk things over. at 10:48 on the clock. So a good time out here. They get to talk things over, and then the next stoppage of play under 10 minutes, they'll get the hydration break as well and have another 3 minutes to sit down and talk about things.
You know, if I'm coach, I'm telling Luxemburg, hey, you know, settle in, you know, keep being aggressive on defense, and the biggest thing here, communicate. You know, get that first slide ready, get that second slide ready, communicate that, and you know, play on your toes. You know, what I've seen from Luxemburg in terms of body language, they've been positive the whole day. So, you know, just encouragement, and you know, I think the communication piece is huge.
Communication is always one of those giant factors in any lacrosse game that you're watching. You'll always hear the goalies yelling out. You'll hear the coaches yelling out. You'll hear the bench yelling out. You'll hear everybody just yelling.
And that's a huge piece in the international game too, because you have a lot of you know, people that don't speak the same languages that are on the same team. So you know, there's that language barrier for some teams as well between coaches and players, and players and players. You know, so you gotta you have a kind of a mix out here of you know, in terms of how people are communicating to each other.
Couple of games coming up on the networks back in the USA. 8 a.m. Ireland versus Latvia on ESPNU. And then afterwards, Canada versus USA over on Wingate 1. That game is at noon on ESPN2, and that should be one of the better matchups of the tournament.
Yeah, that'll be a great one. To give you an example, Uganda, none of the players speak English, but all of their coaches speak English. So, you know, being able to get through that barrier is interesting and difficult, you know, for both players and coaches.
That's very cool, actually. I've spoken to a couple of the teams, and Belgium specifically, they have people, the players and the coaches between them, they speak 4 different languages.
That's amazing.
And watching them play yesterday and hearing them communicate on the field was just incredible, because 2 guys would have a conversation in one language, a coach and a player would have a conversation in another language, players on the field would have a conversation in a third language.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to watch.
Wait for him.
You gotta love that about the international game.
Russia really slowing things down now. They have taken their foot off the gas pedal a bit. They'll still get another shot. Oh, it's going to bounce up and in. Pretty unfortunate that time, actually.
Yeah, it looked like it ricocheted off a defender's shaft and bounced over Linus Furr's shoulder. But I think that sends us to the hydration break.
Sukhanov with his second on the goal puts this game at 21-1 in favor of the Russians. Hydration break and media timeout. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Gladiator Lacrosse, equipment designed and perfected by lacrosse players for lacrosse players seeking to take their game to the next level. Visit gladiatorlacrosse.com today.
Fun fact about Gladiator Lacrosse, started by a young lady and was on the show Shark Tank, where those goals and backstops. It was a company that she created, went on Shark Tank. She got an investor, and now she's got a booming business. And if you ever heard of Casey Powell, he's a part of that too. He's got a signature series with Gladiator.
Casey Powell, why does that ring a name?
just one of the GOATs of our sport.
I could see a bounce back there over in the distance, over by the vendor village, and figured we definitely needed to talk about Gladiator Lacrosse. I saw that episode of Shark Tank. I couldn't have been more excited.
Yeah, that was really cool.
About 6 months ago or so, Gladiator Lacrosse was announced as the official goal supplier for the FIL World Championships as well, I believe.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love these
business
goals,
is booming.
too. I love the orange trim with the black nylon. I think they look really sharp on the field.
Yeah, you certainly can see the ball pop in the net.
And a nice
There's
behind-the-back
our guy.
pass there.
There's our guy.
Donnie Howard,
Easy,
not
Donnie.
too concerned.
Easy, Donnie.
Luxemburg not giving up on defense. Like you said, Josh, still playing strong, still playing aggressive.
Yeah, they got a good rotation going here on this man down. I like the no shot by Donnie.
Fooled his defender once again with the no shot. And it's just so smooth. Couple more fakes coming from Arkhipov.
Yeah, Russia getting fancy here on this man-up play.
Enjoying the time, holding on to the ball. Just about 7 minutes left to play in the game. Back to all even play.
That's another one of those moments, you know, it's like, do you take the foot off the pedal? And, you know, they did there. They didn't take the chances that they had on an open shot. They wait for it to get back to even strength, and they take their man-up unit out. They put their, second midfield in, and now they're going to look for a look on 6-on-6. I like that.
Sign of respect.
Yeah.
Wenzel with the drive. He comes back out to Arkhipov. And now a shot. Somehow finds its way into the net. Danny Vlasenko. And I'm not sure where that ball snuck in.
Yeah, I think it went off the chest pad of Linus Furr. He's kind of stretching out his midsection there. Looks like he's all right, but yeah, it looked like it went off the chest pad and in.
8 of the 22 goals scored here in the second half. But you can see they've cut the numbers in half. First quarter, 23 shots. Second quarter, 22. And now in the third, they had 11, and in the fourth, now they have 10. So they've cut their numbers in half, definitely taking their foot off the gas as a sign of respect. And, there's no reason to keep putting the pressure on.
Yeah, none at all. I mean, this is a long tournament. Everyone's going to get games, and
flipping over the fence on the far side of the field.
He popped up.
Somehow able to get back up and come back off the field this way is Robert Peters, the man that plays every position, including flight instructor, apparently.
Good to see him pop up there. We mentioned it earlier. Field 2 over here is a little bit tight in terms of, the sideline and the bench and the opposite bench. And it's a tight-knit field. I like it, though.
Keeps the game close, and on those games when the crowds are here, they fill up and it gets loud over here.
You're right on top of the action. It's like everyone's got a media pass.
When Australia plays up here, they have 300 fans that come in a following.
Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
When they play on this field, they pack in those shaded areas, and then they get out in the sun, and they start cheering. It gets loud. I don't know if you've seen them around, too. They've got inflatable fighting kangaroos.
I've seen them.
They're pretty incredible.
Great fan following for Australia. Another goal there by Russia. Bounce shot that goes over Linus for his shoulder.
Wenzel puts another one up on the board for Russia. That's his first on the day. And off of 23 goals, 12 different players
sharing the
credited
rock
with at least one, so good sharing today.
Yeah, sharing the rock. Everyone getting an opportunity to contribute offensively. Even the Poles, even the goalies.
As we close in on 3:30 left to play in the game. Face-off battle underway. Under 3 minutes in the fourth quarter is stop time in FIL rules. Russia at this point probably going to start playing keep away.
Thanks, Rick. Coming up on 3 minutes. I'll be stopping
And what a lot of teams will do, and what I used to do back in the days when we had a big lead on a team this late in the game, we would kind of run the end line, and if we got in trouble, we'd just roll the ball back behind us. If somebody was there to pick it up, they would start running the end line too, and we'd just switch off that way.
Yeah, it's one of those small coaching wrinkles, you know, when you're down like this, to keep the ball behind the goal. You know, because if you do lose the ball's going out on the end line rather than the ball trickling upfield for you know, a play that can be made by the other team, you know, going the other direction. So you know, that's often taught to keep the ball behind the cage when you're killing the clock.
What's been helpful for Russia is their clean and crisp passing too.
Yes, they've really valued the rock this entire game, and you know, it's important. If you can pass and catch, you know, good things are going to happen on offense. And they've had a day. They've shared the ball. Like you said, 12 different goal scorers.
Good defense by Luxemburg, able to knock the ball loose and keep it on the ground for a while, but Luxemburg's just able to recover, and now coming in and taking another shot is Wenzel. Wenzel, his second in a row. Coaches conversing down on the sideline, and it seemed like Russia was almost apologizing for putting another one up on the board, and Luxemburg saying, hey, play your game.
Yeah.
So it's what you got to do.
Yeah, it seemed that way. It seemed like the Russian coach shaking his head, why'd you take that shot? And that's awfully nice of Luxemburg to, you know, kind of understand. And
yeah, and I mean, they get it.
Yeah.
They get it. They've been in the lacrosse world long enough to understand the situation.
Yeah.
Face-off violation. Luxemburg gets the ball. They'll have a possession. 2 minutes left on the clock in the game. And Nick Smith has it, walking it down from midfield.
I'd like to see them get one here on offense, you know. Give them a little momentum going into their next game and the rest of the tournament.
Hey, go out on a good note from this game.
Go out on a good note.
Nick Smith trying to drive in, his stick checked. Looked like a shot. It's going to be ruled a shot.
Refs agree.
And a minute and a half left to play. Ball's brought back in, and they'll try to get toward the goal. Russia's still playing defense, though. Don't want to just give up, let them score by any means. Shot knocked down before it got to the cage. Picked up by Russia's Roman Booth. And as we close in on a minute to play,
yeah,
Russia's going to take away a ginormous victory.
Yeah, you got to imagine Russia's going to just kill this one, not force anything, let the clock run out. We're under a minute now.
So, Josh, your biggest takeaway from today's game?
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, both teams coming into this game 0-2, so you know, for both of these teams, an opportunity to get a win. I think it's you know, important to note you know, kind of the issues and the struggles of some of these games and situations, like you know, Russia playing back-to-back, late game last night, getting to the hotel late, and then having to wake up early and play one of the first games of the day. It's just you know, cool to see a team come out like they did, and given the situation, and play hard and play a full game.
And what's tough is that in the morning in Israel, it seems to be hotter than it is in the afternoon, a little different than
Yeah.
what I'm personally used to, but these Russian athletes able to handle the heat, no problem. 9.8 left on the clock after a bad pass went out. The stall warning was on.
I'd say my other takeaway for Luxembourg is, you know, the country's getting better, right? And That's what it's all about, competing at the highest level and growing as a program and as a country.
Snaga got the last shot off, but it went wide left, and this game comes to a close at 24-1. Russia with their first win in FIL play in 2018. Everybody truly seems to be in good spirits, though.
Yeah, and again, that's the important thing, that you walk away, with no bad ill will or intent, and easily a game could go that way, when the score is lopsided. But both these teams being super respectful of each other.
Russia receives the game ball, winning their first in this tournament. 24-1 the victory. Games continue on the ESPN family of networks all day and for the rest of the week, as well as tournament play is underway. For Josh Hawkins, I'm Craig Bloom. That's all we've got from you from Wingate Field number 2. This has been a production of the 2018 FIL World Championships, broadcast live from Netanya, Israel on the ESPN family of networks. Have a great day.